Hi there, I'm going to do an unboxing of this, which is a Nisi version 7 advanced kit. Previously I've used, over the last 10 years, I've used leaf filters. I've always felt there's been a bit of a colour cast in the background, which I've never been too fond of. It usually took quite a bit of adjusting in edit for that. And I've recently bought this rather gorgeous Hasselblad camera, medium format camera, which I adore. And the lens I tend to use on it is a 35 to 100mm lens, which has an 86mm circumference, sort of diameter end to it there. And it's been a nightmare to try and find an adapter ring for my Lee. And I thought this might be a good opportunity to change to a different brand, since I wasn't too keen with the Lee colour, as I say. So looked around, looked at many different sorts. When I bought that camera, I decided to protect the lens glass with Nisi filters and glass, and they seemed very good quality. Also, when I ordered the stuff, it arrived very promptly, so I was impressed with that. Unfortunately, when I ordered the 86mm adapter ring, it did say that it was out of stock and would be arriving soon, and it was best to pre-order it, and as soon as it arrived, you would get it. So I thought, okay, I'll do that. I'll wait patiently, and I'll order the actual mounting kit with it. So I decided to go for the version 7. Because of cost factor, spent a lot of money on that camera. I decided to go for a more standard version, in fact, the standard version, standard kit. And I already had some filters for the Lee as well, which I thought I could start and save up for the other filters, things like that. So lots of thought processes involved. Ordered the standard, waited patiently for about 3 weeks, and then nothing was coming. So I contacted them, and they said, "Oh dear, there's been a problem in the warehouse, and the kit had been damaged whilst they were trying to send it from the warehouse." Bit of a strange story. A bit naughty, I think, that I had to go to them and find out where it was, and they told me the story. I would have thought the better thing was to tell me as soon as they knew it was damaged and wasn't coming. So they said I needed to wait for that to arrive. So I then got, a couple of weeks or 3 weeks later, an email to say that the 86mm adapter had arrived, or was in stock. It's a general email to everyone who had shown an interest in it. And I thought, why haven't I got an email to say that my one that I've paid for was ready to go out? So emailed them, said, what's going on? And I got a rather, how can I put it? I can't think of the word right now. A condescending email back saying, well, when you placed the order, you should have read that the items weren't in stock. Well, that's not true. When I placed the order, it did say that the adapter ring wasn't in stock, but it didn't say anything about this, and this is what I was ultimately waiting for. So I felt it's a bit of a bad tone. So I said to them, I'm sorry, I'm not happy about this, and these are the reasons. And I then also wrote a review in Trustpilot. I then got an email to say that they had sent, that an order was on its way. And then I got another email saying that they weren't happy with my review and would I reconsider it, and they were sending me the advanced kit instead. So it's very kind of them to do that. There was no actual apology for their behaviour, for not contacting me when they damaged the original order, for not keeping me informed of things. Personally, if I was to read a bad review, I would look at how people deal with it, and I haven't looked to check to see what they've written actually on the review, but it's the email I got back. So no apology, just saying, here's some extra stuff, can you go and change your review? Don't know whether I should or not, because what I wrote is my experience. I might put an addendum on it as to the fact they've finally sent the kit, and they sent a better kit, but it's not really, doesn't show signs of a sort of an altered approach, which is kind of what I would expect, as I say. So anyway, bit of a story. Let's open up, let's see what's in it. I have acquired some extra filters as a result of this mix-up and having to wait a couple months for it. I am a professional photographer. I would like to have had it sooner because I do use it for my photography, oddly. That's why I bought it. So right, first thing out the box, let's show you what it looks like. So I've taken the original cellophane off. Open up the box, and here we go. In fact, I'm just going to change the camera angle so you get a nearer shot. So that's what it looks like inside the box. So it's nicely presented. Nothing better than when you buy new kit than to get a nicely presented box. Who misses? That sounds rude. So first out the box is a little black cardboard one. We'll open that up, see what's in it. Okay, so we've got a nice little puffer. I must admit, I do have quite a few of these already. And there's a strap as well. It'll be for the case that you carry the filters in. Then we have a smaller box here. Let's open that up. Okay, so a little plastic container, light grey container with NISI written on it. So NISI is a Chinese brand. Lee obviously is a British brand. So that seems to be a rather clever cleaner that I would imagine you go around, especially for the square filters. Lovely job. So that looks very nice indeed. Try and put that back correctly. And put the box out. And then comes the rather nice case. Let's see what they call it. They call it the Caddy, the 100mm system filter pouch. Let's have a look. So it's a nice grey material. Seems quality. Don't know if that's real leather. I must admit the original filters are bought to protect my Hasselblad lenses. Very nicely made indeed. So let's open this up. So it has the filters in it. So the last few things in the box. Okay, the box is empty now. Chuck that down on the floor. Is an instruction manual and a adapter cover, which I'll need to order another one of these because I'll be keeping them on my lenses. I quite like having rather the Hasselblad. Where's the Hasselblad lens protector? Let me show you that in a minute. It's a very high quality thing. I can't see it. Here it is. Very high quality metal a lens protector there with a squeeze function. You squeeze that bit there to open and close it, but it doesn't sit very well once I've got a protective lens filter on the front, as I have there. You can see the metal ring there going around the lens, which is the NISI lens protector. The lenses are phenomenally expensive on these Hasselblads, so I think it is worth trying to protect them. Right, so the pouch has a little zipped pocket at the top. I guess that's ideal for keeping this little bad boy in. Now, I don't know what the strap is for there because there's already... oh no, so that's like a little hand grabber. Oh, hang on a minute. So go back to what we were doing. So that's the lens cover. Slip that over. That's a nice feel to that. Sort of rubbery outside. So that's good. That will be on permanently from now on. So chuck that box over there. Make some space. Diff. So I will say thank you to NISI for sending the pack with the extra filters. Actually, if I get the box, I can read out exactly what they call the filters. So we've got an ND64 and an ND1000. So I think that is a 10-stop. So basically that's equivalent to a 10-stop and a 6-stop filter. So that's in that. I'm not going to open that right now. So it's in the paper wrap thing. Oh, I will open it. So this is the 64. We'll see whether, like the Lee, whether it has a little foam surround. Yes, it does. So it has a little foam surround. Let's turn that to get the light a bit better. Can you see that? So that will make a nice sort of block side light coming in. Let's put that there. So that's the ND64. This is the ND1000. As I say, a 10-stop filter there. So it comes with, I have to say, I think they're about 100 quid, these. The Lee, one of the 10-stop Lees I bought, literally the first time I used it, I dropped it and scratched it. But luckily, when it's so close to the camera, you don't see the effect of the scratch, luckily. So this here is a reverse graduated filter. So you can see it's actually darkest in the middle, and then it goes lighter near the top. You do want to look after these. Don't want to scratch these first go. So they are 100mm by 150mm. And this is a medium graduated filter here. Take that out of the paper. So these two 100 by 150mm are the extras that I got given to me kindly for my patience and to buy my change of review. I don't know what you think about that. Put your views at the bottom, whether you think one should be bought for these things. I mean, as I say, the experience that happened to me is what happened, so I think people deserve to know that. Right, here, and there's a set of adapter rings there. 67, 72 and 77 adapter rings. Come so. Oh, I tell you what I could do with a glug of coffee. Woof. Oh, yeah. Right, so this is actually now the V7. Right, I'm going to have to cut into this. It's not just a little open bang. So once open, it is open. But I am keeping it. So I should. I'll do another review with the Lee setup. It's quite an old setup, my Lee one, but you can compare materials. Oh, actually, one thing I haven't mentioned is that this actually you put in a built-in polarizing filter, which you can spin around there. I'm not a huge fan of polarizing filters. The filters I tend to use will be either to slow the camera down to get sort of motion out of water and the like, or on bright days I will use a sort of graduated filter for the sky, just to make up for the camera struggling. So this seems to be more metal-based. The Lee one I had was plastic. So it seems a better quality, a bit heavier. So with camera equipment, a lot of it is about the constant addition of extra weight that kills your back. Let's move some of this stuff out of the way. Not having my breakfast yet. A bit late for that. Going to have to be brunch. So hopefully one of those will fit I only have 2 lenses for this Hasselblad. It's all I could afford. Don't think my kidneys are in good enough condition to be able to sell them for another lens. So let's just pop it on this Hasselblad whilst I'm here. Take that off. I might just use it to rest on. Actually, just in case you're interested, if you're watching this because you have this lens, the 35 by 100, it's an amazing lens, amazing camera. I decided to go for the Rigetti L bracket. It's a little bit small, doesn't go across the full length, but that then gives you access to the battery housing and also access if you want to get a USB-C into there. I'm very pleased with the L bracket there, so I can highly recommend the Rigetti. If you want to know more about it, let me know. So let's, whoops-a-daisy, let's bung this on. So it's first time with this. So I would imagine one pulls that to fix it. Yeah, so that is on. And then I think you can lock it in place somehow. I'll have to go through the instructions. Right, now that is locked. Okay, so with this little wheel down the side, let's bring it close. You see that? That is now locked in place with that wheel. But to take the housing off, you just pull that and off it comes. Okay, so that's quite like the Lee if you do have a Lee. Now, what is this bad boy? So this must be what the filter goes in, the polarizing filter, which I have not got out. Sorry, this is turning into a more lengthy video than I expected. So right, here's the polarizer. Right, I'm doing this straight out of the box, so I haven't read the instructions, so apologies for that. So things may go wrong. Oh, shouldn't have a tune. I did once drunkenly make up a song to the tune of Islands in the Stream as I sang to my pet cleaner shrimp. And I got a warning email from whoever owns the music, Sony Corporation or whatever, saying that I was in breach of their bits and bobs. Right, okay, I'm going to watch someone else's video to see how this goes into place. I don't want to muck it up and drop it, break it, scratch it, all the other things I'm very capable of doing, okay? That's things that we're all capable of doing. But ultimately, the polarizer goes in there. As I say, I'm not a huge fan, particularly when I'm flying with drones, to put polarizers on. Yes, it makes the water look lovely. Sorry, let's crouch down. Again. Yes, it makes the water look lovely, but then as the camera angle changes, it all goes funny and the colour isn't really that realistic. Most of my photography, I like to try and keep as realistic to the human eye. So all the editing I do is really to make up any failings with the with my skills, with the camera, that kind of jazz. I'm not a big fan of photoshopping to make something no longer real. Just I try to make all my photographs as realistic as possible using editing. So there we go. That's a Nisi V7 with all the gumph unboxing. When I get used to it, I'll come back, do another one. And, I'll also do a bit of a shoot for you, show you all in action. Okay. Thanks for watching. Catch up with you another time. Right, I've got a little amendum to my last clip. So now I've had a little play with it all and gone through the instructions. The polarizing filter there, does not work, sadly, with the 86mm lens of the Hasselblad there, the 35-100 lens, which is 86mm. Which I only found out by Googling it. I don't know whether I saw that clearly on the gumph. The filter holder still works fine, so I can use the graded filters and the ND1000, etc., etc. That's no problem, which is kind of what I bought it for. I don't really particularly like polarizing filters anyway, but that fits on my 25mm prime Hasselblad lens, which I bought for, well, actually I bought that because that one hadn't been made yet. So I needed something to go with the camera so I could be using it straight away. So I bought this for landscape, 25mm, and for astro photography, because it's a great nighttime lens. So, sort of disappointing. I don't know whether I'll ever be able to afford another Hasselblad lens because they're so expensive. But overall, I'm pleased with the kit. The prime reason for getting it is for the rectangular filters and to do long exposures, which I can still do with both lenses. Just the polarizing, rotating one does not work, unfortunately, with the 86mm lens. So be careful. So kind of I want this video primarily for Hasselblad owners of this lens. This is kind of what I have you in mind, guys. I will check whether my old leaf filters fit into this as well. I think they should, because it takes 2mm thick glass, so it should do. Okay, thanks for watching. Cheers now. Right, amendum number 2. Okay, so I just was going to put away some of the glass into the little pouch that it comes with, and I have to say, I think the build quality is pretty darn good. It's sort of a lovely, soft, almost, what would the word be? Sort of leather-like, not leather, suede-y type interior in here, which is very nice. And then they've got longer sections for the 100 by 150, and then it has smaller, shorter sections for the 100 by 100 lenses there. So, not lenses, filters. Keep saying lenses, but you know what I mean. So, yeah, pleased with that. So, yeah, overall pleased. Thanks for watching.
Oh my God.